guys, alright, so here we go on this tutorial video. So this video is for the adjustable memory wire bracelet. So I had shown this bracelet here in my Bargain Bead Box January 2020 video, and somebody asked me to do a tutorial, so that's what we're doing today. So here's this bracelet here. It's adjustable, it's on memory wire. It had a lobster claw on here to help keep it together, and when that was closed, then the beads didn't move around as much on my wrist, so that's why I added that on there. So I'm going to show you a few different ways today of how to make this bracelet, and it's actually very easy. So this is the one, like I said, that I made with the lobster claw. Now if you wanted something more like a bangle, you can do it like this. So this one has beads pretty much filling the whole way. Now, because it doesn't leave much room for this to move, it's not very adjustable. So I actually can't even get this on, but I have larger hands. So if you have a smaller wrist, or if I were to use the larger memory wire size, then I could actually wear this as a bangle. But I just wanted to show you that if you put too many beads on there, then it no longer is adjustable because the wire doesn't have anywhere to move to. So there's that. So that's with only just having a little bit of wire in there between the end of where the other side of the loop goes. So if you want it to be adjustable, you can't have that many beads on there. If you can wear it as a bangle, then you could do that, and then the beads just kind of stay in place. I mean, they have a little bit of movement in there, but that would be a way to, have a bangle bracelet out of memory wire. Okay. So then this one is the same way I made this one. So you can see the beads all just move around. And then again, I had the lobster claw on here to help hold it down a little bit. Now, because these are smaller beads on here and different sizes, when I close it together, it doesn't hold those in place. They still kind of move all around. So, but I'm okay with that. I like that. Now, if you wanted it to where the beads didn't move at all, I have this other one here that I made. And as you can tell, the beads don't go anywhere. They stay in place. So what I did was, again, this has another lobster claw just to hold it tight once it's done. And then, so I'm just going to go ahead and undo that. And then what I've done is, on the end here, I went ahead and did a crimp just to hold the beads in place. Now I will tell you that I had to use a nicer crimp. I don't know what brand this is. But the ones that I had gotten from like AliExpress and Wish, they did not work. They just slid around on the metal. But when I used these, then they worked much better. So I just used, regular crimp pliers on that, and with a nicer crimp. Now the difference is these have thicker walls. So the other ones have really thin walls, and these are really thick walled crimps. So that was the difference of what was able to make it hold on to the metal better. So I don't know if you guys can see that. So there you go. You can see they're really thick. And then these are the ones that I was trying to use, either of these, and you can see the walls on these are thinner. So I tried both of this kind, and neither one of these worked. But I tried this one here, and this one did work. So alright, so next thing, so I am going to go ahead and do one. So I have these pink beads lined up here. This is what I'm going to use. So the tools that I'm going to use are a pair of round nose pliers, flat nose pliers, and then some chain nose pliers here. And then another option, if you have the one-step looper, you could use that to do the ends. I found that it was easier just to use the round nose pliers. I did try the one-step looper, and honestly it was just easier to just use the round nose pliers. Alright, but I also have thinner memory wire here. So I got my memory wire. So what I do is I take 2 full loops. Okay, so that's one around and then one around. So we're going to do 1 and then 2. Okay, so we're going to cut on the second loop. Oh, I forgot to say we need a so I use these here. Now you can see whatever you use for memory wire, you want to make sure you only use it for those snips. There you go, that's the word I was looking for. So I need snips. So if you can see on the inside of these, mine are really chewed up. And that is from using them on memory wire. So oh, there you go. Now you can see really good. So you want to use, you know, one pair of snips that are just for memory wire. Now these, when I first started, these were the only ones that I had. So I used them for everything, but I didn't start out doing memory wire. So once I started out doing memory wire, I chewed mine up really quickly. And so then I decided that I needed to start getting some more pairs of snips. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and give that a cut there, and then I'll show you. All right, so that was, if you look at the wire here, so this was one around and then two around. So I got two loops there. Okay, so now, really simple. First step we're going to do is we're just going to take them and roll the end in, just like as if you were doing a regular memory wire bracelet. Now, it's important that you roll it in. So I know some people say, you know, they want to roll it out. Some people roll it in. For this design, you want to roll it into itself. Okay, so into the center. So you're just going to have a little loop like that. You're just rolling it in. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and load our beads on. Actually, first we're going to fold it down. This is the first end. So this first end can be just folded down. So this is where the flat ones come into play. So I just hold this nice and flat, okay? And what I do is I give it a good squeeze just to make sure that's all lined up. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to, now the way that I do it, I hold it right to the end of that, and I'm just going to fold it, okay? So there you go. So this is what you have. You're just going to fold that up. And then, so now we have our loop, and we have it folded. And that's it. So we're going to go ahead and load our beads on. And then remember, if you want to crimp them into place, make sure you load your crimp on there as well after you're done everything. Now, if you wanted to do less beads and you wanted to crimp a smaller amount of beads right into the middle of your bracelet, you could definitely do that. Just make sure you put on one crimp bead first before you start loading all your beads on. You're just going to push it all over to the end, which is what I've done here, and then just do a crimp. So this is pushed over to this end. And then I just did one crimp on this side. But if you wanted to center them, you wanted to do less beads, you could certainly do that. So I'm just going to load these on here real quick. One more to go. You guys, this goes so quick. Such a fun little project. All right, so there you go. So those are all loaded on. Okay, so we're just gonna send them all down to the bottom. Okay, so now we have all of our beads loaded on all the way down to the bottom. Okay, and then what we're gonna do now, we're just gonna finish off this other end. So again, we're going to take our round nose pliers, curl it into itself, just do one full rotation, and then just a little more just to get it all the way to the end. And it's okay if it's not totally sealed because we still have to hook these wires onto themselves. All right, so this first loop that we did, so this is where the chain nose comes in. You're just going to twist it open just like a jump ring. Just twist it open and pull that on there. And then we're going to close this up good. You want to make sure you close in that gap as well. Make sure it's all lined up, nice and tight. Okay, so there we go. So it looks pretty good. Still a little more room there, so we're just going to wiggle that in a little tighter. All right. That looks pretty good. It's not coming out. Okay, so now the other end here, same thing. So honestly, it doesn't matter whether you fold it down or you fold it up because the wire can go around to either side. I personally liked it better with doing it where one is on one side, one's on the other side. And I just think that it worked out better. It sat on the wrist better that way. So again, all we're going to do, so now I have it lined up in the, the same spiral that it normally comes in. And I'm just going to take this other end, okay, and I'm just going to fold it down. And then we're just going to hook that right onto this wire as well, like so. And we're just going to close that loop up. Try to do it without messing it up. There we go. All right, so I got that loop closed. That one didn't want to cooperate with me. All right, so there we go. So here we go. I got another adjustable bracelet, just that fast. And then, like I said, this is another one where the beads all move around, which I'm okay with. I like it that way. And then what we can do is, like I said, we can add a lobster claw on right here. And then once you hold those together, then the beads don't move around as freely. So I can go ahead and show you how that goes. So I have the lobster claw here with a jump ring on there. Just going to use this to open that up. Go ahead and stick that on one of the loops, and then you can connect it right to the other loop to close it. If you want to have a little more flexibility on sizing or anything like that, you could certainly add, extender chain or jump ring or whatever you needed, if the two ends don't close next to each other, depending on how you put it together. And then, like I said, then you just connect it to the other side, and then as you can see, it really limits movement. Let me see, I can go ahead and get this done. There we go. This is the part that's hard to do. Just takes a second of patience here. Or if you have somebody that can help you with it, that works too. There we go. Alright, so as you can see, a whole lot less movement now on the beads. The wires kind of press against each other and hold the beads a little more in place. So there you go. So there we go. We just made a pink bangle bracelet. Basically, it's memory wire and holds its shape. A little bit of movement on the beads. Like I said, you can leave it so that there's a lot more, openness. You can, play around with whatever kind of bead combination you want. Thicker beads, thinner beads. As you can see, there's a big difference in the width of the beads, and it works either way. You can do it with the lobster clasp, without the lobster clasp. You can do it with a lot more beads and no room, as long as, you can fit your hand inside of it and it's more like a bangle. So lots of options that you can do here. The main things to remember for as far as forming the wire is curl it inside of the circle, and then all you're going to do is take one half and fold it down and take the other half and fold it up. So hopefully that makes sense. And there you have it. So if you have any questions, go ahead and comment below, and I will definitely answer them. I'm really good about answering all of my comments, and I love it when people comment, so I appreciate that. And otherwise, I hope you have a great night, and thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next video. Have a good night. Bye.